Hi, welcome back to How To. This week we will be making custom fridge magnets. To get started, you will need perler beads. You can find them at any craft store. An iron, a heavy book, glue, a perler bead plate, a pattern. You can find a lot of them on the internet, but today we'll be making this one. 2 small pieces of wax paper, a small bowl to sort your beads into, magnets, and some tweezers to make it easier to pick up the beads. Now you're ready to go! After choosing your pattern, the first step is to plug in the iron so that it can get nice and warm while you're working. Next, separate the colors that you'll need. Once the beads are separated, you can start placing the beads on the plate. Keep placing beads and referring back to your pattern as often as you need until all your beads have been placed. I like to work in sections and place all of the same color at the same time, but you can do this part however you'd like. If you're feeling extra creative, ditch the pattern and come up with your own design. Perler beads are great for trial and error because they're so easy to move around and adjust. Some patterns are trickier than others, so don't worry if you have to make some adjustments while you're placing your beads. When choosing your pattern, you can count how many of each color you'll need to make separating your beads easier. And just like that, our design is complete. Now we're ready to move on to the next step. As you can see, I miscounted a little, but that's alright, they'll just go back in the container. Once you're done placing the beads, cover them with one piece of wax paper. Make sure the paper is flat. You don't want any wrinkles on your magnet. At this point, the iron will be nice and hot, so be careful. Place the iron down flat on the beads. You'll have to move the iron around so that everything melts evenly. Once everything's melted together, give it some time to cool. Then you can flip the entire thing over and pop the plate off of the beads. After you've evenly melted both sides, place a heavy book on top so it won't warp as it cools. Once everything is fully cooled, you can remove both pieces of wax paper. Now it's time to glue on the magnets. Depending on the size of your pattern, you may need 1 or 2 magnets. For this pattern, we'll be using 2. Let the glue fully dry, and then it's time to put that baby to work. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of How To. We'll see you next week.